wonderful speaker, Doychin.
Cheers, man. Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for coming. I was saying to Hugo that probably when I look at the program, I feel like this slot is the worst. Because in other rooms, we have women in leadership, and it's an ex-colleague of mine, Alex Black, presented there. Otherwise, I would have signed up if I was doing here. And also, there's wine tasting. So this is a tough slot, but thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for making it. It makes me feel actually really happy. So it's going to be great because I'm going to share with you some secrets, cheat codes, how to make our experimentation, how we make our experimentation really successful. But why experimentation? Experimentation is really powerful, right? With what single experiment, you can prove somebody's opinion wrong or right. This famous actor who played in Oppenheimer, have you seen him? Yes, he said it. He said it, but in honesty, experimentation is great. It's the way forward. And this morning, one of the presentations we had personalization, eating personas for breakfast. I think experimentation is eating personalization for breakfast. So it's all about experimentation. But why you need to listen to me? Let's play a game. Let's play a game. So please take out your phone and participate with me. The game will be as it follows. You, the audience, versus the rest of the world, versus Virgin Media O2. Okay? You're going to have 4 questions, and we're going to see how the audience is performing against the rest of the world, against Virgin Media O2. The data, because data is really important, the data for the rest of the world is coming from research done by Optimizely, based on evolution of experimentation. Google it after it, not now. After my session, there is a lot of valuable insights, and the data for Virgin Media O2 comes from last year. Okay, question number 1. How many experiments do your digital team do per year? So it's a game, it's a race. Audience versus Virgin Media O2 versus the rest of the world. So, by the way, did you get the question on your? Exactly. Did you get the question now? Yes. Love it. Okay. So, how many experiments do your digital team do per year? Fill it in. 41, 50. Oh, okay. 75. I feel like this is a bit like the election night when they're revealing the results a little bit, right? Okay. I think we've got an outliner as a winner. Less than 100. So that's the audience majority answer. Let's see. So, Virgin Media O2, velocity. Close to 400 experiments last year. We did 400 experiments. And the rest of the world, the top 3 companies run over 500 experiments per year. Right? So based on my subjective calculations, I think Virgin Media O2 are within top 5 of the company, top 5% of the companies out there. But as you can see, the audience is around, what, less than 100? So you can see already the gap. There is a big gap, and that needs to be closed. But a little bit more on that later. Second question. What's the percentage win rate of the experiments your digital team is doing? Okay? So far, I think the rest of the world is leading. Virgin Media second and the audience third. Magic. 60. Oh, 80. Love it. Love it. So let's see how you're comparing against the rest of the world and Virgin Media O2. 18% win rate for Virgin Media O2. 12% win rate for the rest of the world. What does that mean? It means 88% of the tests do not win. And 82% tests in Virgin Media don't win. Right? This is staggering amount. And what does that come to show? Is that experimentation is not equal to winning. Experimentation is not equal to increase of conversion rate, revenue, all that. This is not the magic sauce to make your business successful, because the rest of the world, the 12% only win, right? What's experimentation for, though, is learnings. And that's, actually, I'm going to delve a little bit deeper on that one, because people and businesses are quite obsessed by their win rate. So as you can see, different industries have different win percentage rates, between 9 and 17 around. But still low, right? We saw your answers. They were 80, 85, 60. And that is basically, just comes to, that's not true experimentation. Sorry, but I have to be candid with you. Because if you get to 80% success rate, it means like 8 out of 10 tests are successful. If you know they're going to be successful, why even run them? Why you go so high? Experiment it really. Like, go out there, push the boundaries, try stuff that you don't know if they're going to win. Don't be scared. Like, experimentation is not equal to a success. Doesn't guarantee you winners, right? And this, please take a photo of this, maybe show it to your seniors, but you need to be bold. You need to be fearless with your experimentation, because the rest of the industries are. Question number 3, variance. So we saw velocity, we saw win rate, variance. What's the percentage of more than one variant of your experiments, right? Usually, A/B test, one variant. How many multivariant tests are you running? What percentage of your experimentation base? Okay, whoa, 80%. Is somebody just feeling 80 for the sake of it? Brilliant. Okay, 100%. Wow, nice. But let's see, we have 60. Okay, overall is between 10 to 20%, more than one variant. Brilliant. Okay. How is the audience against Virgin Media O2 and the rest of the world? The rest of the world, 23% of experiments have more than one variant. That's okay, admirable. Virgin Media, I think in this case, we're losing against the audience and against the rest of the world. 9% of our experiments have more than one variant. But actually, there is an explanation behind that, and we're going to go through it in terms of the challenges and constraints. But in this case, I think the world is winning, audience second, and Virgin Media third. Final question, please. Personalization, right? We went through velocity, win rate, variance, personalization. What percentage of your company's experiments are using a specific audience targeting? I alluded to it in the beginning, but personalization is a type of experimentation. Let's not hide about that. So what percentage of your tests, you target specific audiences, you target specific behaviors? It's not like you're not unleashing it to everyone to see it. 20% experiments using. So roughly, I don't want to be too judgmental, but roughly your personalization strategy is 20%. But yeah, let's see how is that comparing. On average, is a little bit shy of 50%. The world is doing personalization with actually targeting audiences. And Virgin Media O2 exceeds that, 60%. Because what we would like is to target the customer, to understand their intent, and be sure that the specific experiment serves the specific purpose. So, take a photo of this, because I'm moving on to the next screen. But this is pretty much like kind of a little bit of why there is a success in our experimentation. That's the data, it proves it, right? But we also have a lot of challenges in constraints, in considerations. And I'm sure most of those are going to ring true to yourself as well. So what are the challenges that we have? And let's see if they're true to you as well. Traffic. Traffic is limited, okay? Nobody comes to Virgin Media O2 to get inspired. People come for specific reason. But what does that mean? Actually, you have to have an effective prioritization in place to utilize even the small traffic that you have, for a greater return on investment. You cannot invent traffic, sorry, but even SEO, paid, you cannot invent traffic. So you have to deal with whatever you have in place, right? Next thing, seasonality. This is a massive challenge in consideration. Learnings that you might get for now, then they're not applicable throughout the whole of the year. So iterations, keep questioning the outcomes. If this is down to our genius minds, or if this is down to just a certain behavior because it's a sale period. So seasonality is key, and you have to consider it. Reality. And I'm actually quite proud of saying it. Not everything should be tested. Not everything should be tested, and that's the reality. Otherwise, you become a bottleneck. You become this person that nobody wants to get invited to a party. Because, have you tested this? Have you tested that? It's just, again, it comes down to your effective prioritization. What's the biggest impact? Where we see the opportunity, and where is the customer problems? If you're doing certain type of migration, if you're doing like-for-like swap, maybe you shouldn't have tested. Maybe you shouldn't, because you have to focus on the biggest return on investment opportunity. So, next challenge, intents. And this is a big one, because usually, the moment we join a company, we just completely forget about customer. We are customers ourselves, but we don't think about customer. We look at like data, we look at numbers, but in reality, different customers have different intents. They come to your website from a different state of mind, and you have to be able to recognize that. And also evaluate the size of those intents. How big is it? Is it like worth chasing it? Is it worth tailoring your digital strategy to satisfy a particular intent? Yeah, check out the data. See how big it is. How impactful and what their propensity to purchase is. Because in reality, they are not endless intents. Right? If you come through like 100, 200 different intents, different customer sizes, something is wrong here. Price is everything. So value for money is more important than ever. Customers are savvier. Like, we spent 2 years locked down in our homes, and everybody knows how to use the internet now, just so you know. But just cost of living plays a key role, and customers will find a way to get the biggest value for their money. So you shouldn't ignore that. Tech limitations. Tech limitations is a big thing, because all the experimentation, the successful experiments, very much depend on the stability of your platforms, and then depend on the capabilities that you have. You can use them as an excuse, or you actually use it as a leverage and try to experiment around it. So this is very much important point, because tech limitations hamstring velocity. They're blocking the creativity, but at the same time, they enable creativity. Because if something cannot be achieved due to technical limitations, are there any other ways that we can do it? Of course. Let's brainstorm around that. The last bit, buy-in. Buy-in from key stakeholders is a massive pain. In general, experimentation is underrated. It's underrated, and a lot of senior leaders need convincing. Hence, value-driven experiments and going for the biggest opportunity is key. Find out what their customer problems are. Find out what's the target. Find out what we're trying to achieve, and go for it. They'll not be long enough when all your stakeholders are going to be knocking on your door and wanting your attention. Because when you solve the problem for them and for customers, win-win. So, these are the challenges and considerations. Right? You saw our results earlier on. How do we overcome this challenge? What are the cheat codes? What are we trying to do with, in Virgin Media O2 in order to be successful? Mindset and culture. I'm actually really proud of this slide myself, because we had a big workshop with the experimentation team, and everybody put what they want our mission statement to be. We clubbed it together and created a joint mission statement. So let me read it to you. Empowering Virgin Media O2 to achieve an intuitive and inclusive customer experience through fearless, data inspired experiments while exceeding business value. Just 3 bits that I want to highlight here, which are very important. And now we have this joint mission. It's allow us to just stay aligned. Intuitive and inclusive customer experience. Making sure that we make the journey seamless and friction-free for all customers, all intents. Fearless data-inspired experience. Fearless. There's no egos. If you're wrong, you're wrong. You have to be fearless. You have to go and experiment and try out just to see if it's going to work out. Business value. We are all here to drive business value. We're going to do it through intuitive and inclusive customer experience, of course, but let's not forget about it. Because sometimes we get stuck into just being pure, going through for the science of every experimentation program that has against all the other teams. Experimentation could be quick, and you saw it. 400 experiments in a year last year. Does the pro team can achieve that? Maybe the best ones, top 3, you saw them, maybe yeah. But your experimentation program can achieve it. And that's the biggest advantage against any other team. Customer problems. Stop going for the solutions. Formulate the customer problem and keep going around it. Just don't kill a hypothesis. Don't kill a customer problem, kill a hypothesis. Because it's just that hypothesis didn't work, didn't solve the problem, doesn't mean that the problem doesn't exist. It is there, and it's your job to solve it. And there are multiple ways to find how to do it. Third one, high aspirations. Set yourself goals high. Make ambitious. You saw like the talk from Jill Scott earlier, and it was incredible, right? The high aspiration doesn't get you demotivated. It actually allows you to open up the road and try new stuff and go for it. Have in the back of your mind, have high aspirations. What's the worst that can happen? Not achieve them? Wow. Last bit, constant communication. Over-communicating is better than not communicating. Make that like a mantra of yours, because what I want and what I'm encouraging my team to do on a regular basis, at least once a week, all the digital directs, all the senior leaders, to receive some comms from experimentation. Just make yourself out there. Just constantly communicate. Make sure that you're in everybody's spotlight, because that's the only way how experimentation is going to grow and succeed. So mindset, culture. We have ways of working. And this, our wheel of fortune, consists of 3 very, very complex stuff. So let me go through those in ranking. Objectives and key results. Targets. Please dedicate some measurable targets that are contributing to the overall digital strategy. If you don't have them, make them up, right? But you have to have targets. That's the only way to measure the success of something. Imagine just throwing an experiment out, you don't know what's the measure of success. The most successful companies out there have shared OKRs, and that's what the digital team at Virgin Media O2 are striving to achieve. Every single team has the same OKR. And then every single team figures out how they're going to contribute to the OKR for the quarter. And this is powerful because, first of all, it feels a bit restrictive. Oh, shit, I don't know the targets. How can we get it? But if everybody has the same targets, it's going to be magical how everybody's trying to align and work together. After that, what we're trying to do? Problem statements. Focus on the problem statements. So you have a target. Let's imagine sales. What's your problem statement? How to increase the sales. Why would customers not want to purchase more from us? Right? There's also opportunity solution tree, which is aligning on the biggest opportunity based on the data, effort, and highest probability of reaching statistical significance. So this is where like your target is now taking shape. Is now turning into actually what customers are facing. Because nobody from a customer perspective cares about your target, right? Only your business, only your company value the targets. That's why it's your job to turn those targets into problem statements. Why? Why you need to achieve? How to do it? And then, once you have this, experimentation. There is no other way, because you're aligned on your targets, you're focusing on customers to achieve those targets, and the only way for you to make sure that you achieve those is through experimentation. Big, fast, impactful experiments, which are just following quick iterative cycles, okay? No need to sign off. No need to go and knock on somebody's door like, can we go live with this experiment? Can we not go live with this experiment? This is bullshit. If everybody's aligned with the same OKRs, if everybody wants to achieve the same thing, this is the most intuitive thing, okay? And for those of you who notice, there is a little asterisk. We're selling broadband. It's impossible not to have asterisks, right? So the little asterisk stands for this doesn't count for legal and regulatory checks. These are very much required, and we wouldn't go live without being signed off by legal if we have to do something that's impacting legal. So yeah, that's the wheel of fortune. That's our ways of working. And it's simple, yet very, very, very effective. Famously, he's not an actor like the last one. It's a statue, but we are what we do repeatedly. Therefore, excellence is not an act, but a habit. Think about that, like, one quarter you have targets, you create problems, customer problems, you create experiments. Great, but that's just one quarter. Keep repeating it, keep doing it every single quarter, every year, right? Turn your excellence into habit, tweak it, improve it. Don't be happy with whatever you have achieved, because it's a single act. That single act, don't be a firework, basically, what's what I'm trying to say. So, but for that to turn into excellence, right, a habit, you need a team. And the team structure is really, really important. So at Virgin Media O2, we have multiple experimentation squads, and I've been asked, what's your way of working? Like, what's your team structure? We have a hybrid team structure. We have a hybrid team structure. We have teams that are center of excellence. We have teams that operate in the centralized model. Center of excellence is pretty much working closely with the product teams, and you're just nurturing the experimentation mantra, guiding them, serving as an expert in what they want to achieve. And that works perfectly fine for certain area of the business. But that doesn't mean like it should be widely adopted across. Because in another area of the business, centralized model works perfectly fine. Own a roadmap, decide on features, go and innovate and create the experience yourself. This is really important because it doesn't hamstring you. There is like pros and cons for both ways. Don't try to just lean one way or another. Make it work for your company. Make it work for you as a business. And that's really, really important objective. Setup. Okay? The setup for center of excellence is slightly different to the setup of the centralized model that we have in the company. I'm not going to play a game and just find where is Wally here. But in the centralized model, you have designers and dedicated QAs. In the center of excellence model, you don't have that because they're part of the product teams. They're designers. Each product team have a designer. Each product team have a QA. So actually, operating as the center of excellence allows you to rely on those people to cover the job. Where the centralized model, you have to, because you're going at such a fast pace, and you're going probably a quarter or two ahead of everybody else. So you have to ensure that you're not breaking the website, basically. But it's an important. The setup flexes depending on what type of team structure you have. Finally, what's your ways of working? Center of excellence operate with Scrum sprints. So basically, because they're aligned with the product team, they have 2-week sprints, and they're aligned with the release cycles, and it's pretty much a time-box prioritized scope. It works perfectly. That's it. Most of you are familiar, but actually, what we're trying to do is explore, go out there, do A/B tests, do multivariate tests, do machine learning models, do multi-bandits, stats accelerate, personalization campaign. Don't get stuck into one type of experimentation because otherwise you're limiting yourself. And you're limiting your company, and then your stakeholders don't respect you that much. So just go out there and try experiment. So when I was preparing this presentation, I was thinking, wow, I can wow the audience with our different type of A/B tests, machine learning, and MVTs. But it's easy to focus on the bits that you do extremely well. So the areas that we have much opportunity to grow are the multi-bandits and stats accelerate. So we're using Optimize as our experimentation platform, and they have those two type of experiments. We have still opportunity to grow there. That's why I'm just going to give you some examples of those, because I believe that we can do better, but we're still learning. Okay, I don't want to create this sense of we're great and we're the best and we're making sure that everything works. Okay, but at the same time, the examples that you're going to see for multi-bandit and stats accelerator are the simplest type of experiments we run. Okay, I don't want to do any disservice to our experimentation program because we reimagine the experience. But let me see what I'm talking about. Multi-bandits and stats accelerator. What's a multi-bandit? Multi-bandit is really interesting concept, which I believe most of you are aware, but for those who are not, I'm just going to mention it. It's algorithms that dynamically allocate traffic to the variant that are performing very well against the primary metrics. Okay. Maximize rewards, minimize regret. Basically, it just, whoever performs great, aggressively pushing that traffic to that variant. But it doesn't reach statistical significance. It's not like, oh, we're sure that this is it. We can bet our house on this. In this moment of time, with these considerations and challenges that we have in front of us, that's the most performing variant. That's multi-bandit. That's what it's there for. So here's a quick example of how we use it. Again, I'm mentioning this is something that we can improve on, but during Black Friday, it's campaign, short-lived, 3 weeks, you don't have enough time to experiment a lot. Multi-bandit play a really important role in it. Why? Because it maximizes reward. So here is a quick example. During Black Friday, we served 3 different variants to customers against our control. And we just wanted to have the maximum impact, but we didn't know how. So we played with the 3 months free, and we called it pay nothing until February. We played with Black Friday label, we called it pay nothing until February. We play with the saving message to say the specific price, then just call it a 3 months free. So multiple variation of trying to find what's going to resonate best for customers in a really short period of time. What were the results? We ran it for 7 days. Very short time for actual experimentation and getting statistical significance and knowing the next steps. All the variants outperformed the control. Variant 3 drove the most users to the checkout. Variant 2 drove the most progression to the... Actually, variant 3 performed best for the conversion and drove the most number for the checkout. But the most important thing here, and I want to draw your eyes towards this, is the percentage of traffic that experienced the winning variants. 82% of the traffic during those 7 days experienced the winning variants. If you're doing a standard A/B test, multivariant test, you just split the traffic equally, and only 75% of customers would have joined up the variant 1, 2, and 3. But because of multi-bandit, because of maximizing the reward, the experimentation start more and more seeing the variants. So this is really important. Stats accelerate. This is simplified the opposite of multi-bandit. Why? Because it's a machine algorithm that dynamically allocates traffic to the variant that's most likely to reach statistical significance. So actually, this is very different to multi-unbounded, if you remember, because multi-unbounded is the one that performs best. This one is the one that's highly likely to reach statistical significance. And it could be negative. Could be negative, but you shouldn't be scared because you're learning out of this. It requires minimum of 3 variants. So this is very good where you have some areas of the website that there is not a lot of traffic, or the changes that you're making are not that sizable. So you need some quick understanding of which one is like the outline or the best performer. So let me give you an example of how we use this. So the chat button, we just wanted to redesign it, position it differently. So you have 2 ways. Go to user testing and go to show customers a lot of variants, or actually run through the stats accelerator and see which one's performing best. So this is it. I spoiled the surprise. V4 performed better because it reached that statistical significance for the primary with an A/B test or a multivariate test. But at least you're casting the net wide, and then you're minimizing and actually start going towards something that showed promising results. That's really important. So, quick summary. The cheat codes that made or still making Virgin Media O2 having a successful experimentation program. Mindset and culture. Don't underestimate that. It's powerful and actually keeps the team together. Ways of working. Make sure that you're flexible and you cater for the needs of your customer and the needs of your business. Don't blindly follow books. Don't blindly follow podcasts. Listen to it, understand what they're trying to say, and adapt it. Team structure. Without a strong team, you are nobody. So I just want to say, team, can you raise your hands, please? We have first row here, and we have 5th row over there. So keep your hands raised, please. I'm trying to say something. First of all, I want to thank you very much for your hard work. And second of all, I want the audience to see you so that they can engage with you afterwards and ask you if this is real or I'm making it up. So yeah, without a strong team, you're nobody. And then type of experiments. Diversify your experimentation program, because you're going to learn a lot and you're going to be able to understand customers better. And most importantly, be bold. What's the worst that can happen? Come on, be bold, experiment, go for it. It's really, really powerful and liberating. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. Question time. Should we just go to the next slide? Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. For a 400 tests per year velocity, how big is your team? Yeah, fair question. You have to have a big team. You have to have a big team. But it doesn't happen out of nowhere. It's not like, oh, give me a big team, otherwise I'm not going to do. Start gradually, start small and build up. And every time when you drive value, ask for more and show that the more people you have in your team, the more you're able to do. Or actually, I'll give you that idea. Start with the things that you cannot do. So, oh, we can't do stats accelerator or multi-unbounded because we don't have analysts. But we can do those things. So focus on the rewards, but demonstrate progress. Therefore, I think it's important. Again, I'm not going to hide. We're fortunate enough to have big enough team that are dedicated in a small squads and work on different areas of the website. But you have to have that in order to be able to have an impactful program. Next question. How do you define experimentation to a difficult stakeholder? Difficult stakeholders are the best stakeholders. Honestly, they are your opportunity. If you have a difficult stakeholder, you're lucky because you have an opportunity to make a difference. If you don't have any difficult stakeholders and you actually, everybody's supporting you, maybe they don't care, you know? So first of all, you should be happy if you have a difficult stakeholder. And there are multiple ways of how you can pretty much approach and define experimentation for them. First of all, go out there and source some facts that are true for big companies. And pretty much like share it. Hey, this company did that and they achieved this. Just start to plant the seed of what's out there, first and foremost. Second of all, is try to understand why they're difficult. Because 10 out of 10, their targets are not aligned to your targets. So maybe you have to understand why they're difficult and make it so that you understand what their target is and you can help them. And that's the third point, which is the moment you understand their targets, the moment you understand what they're going for, you can come up with solutions. And you can be like, I can help you with this, I can help you with that, I can help you with that. But the opportunities with difficult stakeholders are more than actually when you don't have difficult stakeholders. So that's, for me, the valuable intake. 3 points. Go out there, source the information, ask them what targets are, and be creative with the options that you can solve their problems. 400 annual tested VMO2. How many button color text? Funnily enough, the ones that you saw were probably the only ones. And again, that's why I asked the team to raise their hands, because I'm more than happy for you to chat to them. And we have some of the CRO developers here, which definitely can vouch that probably they haven't built more complex tests ever, and they probably won't be able to build any more complex tests because it's just massive. Redesigning pages, making sure that we introduce new features. We implemented open banking through CRO, funnily enough. Chat, phone numbers. It's basically like we are redefining customer journeys. And this is what makes it so exciting, and this is why the value comes back and follows. That's why, don't focus on button color changes in labels, please. It's a waste of time. Don't do it. Unless you're trying something new. Multi-unbounded, starts accelerated. Try something small, right? But yeah, that's it. Go big. Oh, what tools are you using to test? I think I've mentioned it. But yeah, Optimizely is our software platform, which is allowing us to experiment. And we do a lot of user testing as well. So, but not with Optimizely, with another provider. Yeah, that was a quick one. I've got 1 more minute, so probably 2-3 questions more. How can you convince people that a win doesn't always need to be a higher conversion rate? Why the win doesn't need to be a higher conversion rate is my question. It's like, it goes back to defining your OKRs, right? If you have OKRs which are higher conversion rate, that's your aim. That's what you're going for. And every test should align to that aim, should align to that target. I understand, it's quite frustrating because customer experience, the wow moment, the whole emotional bit when you're using a website is very important. But that also needs to result with the business value. And if that doesn't result in more orders, maybe it's not important for your customers. Think about it. We're selling broadband. Very functional bit, not a lot of expiration. Imagine if we made our website really, really exciting with a lot of like rockets flying around, balloons, but you don't have a website at home. You don't have broadband at home. These balloons are distraction. You get even more frustrated this moment. That's why I think it's not how you convince people that conversion rate is not always what you need to focus on. It's about you focusing on what's important for your business, aligning on these targets. And if those targets are boring to you, right, like, try to turn it into customer problems. And this is where the whole magic happens. So for me, it's like trying to reshape your mindset. You say that you do audience targeting. Yep. Okay, that's a really good question, by the way. So how we identify our audience targeting and what tools we use? So in multiple ways. You can use your data analytics, but we have our CDP, Customer Data Platform, which we segment and monitor customers' behavior and try to identify patterns which are powerful, and then we can target. So don't restrict yourself to just only new returning users or mobile device split. Try to go out there, try to harvest your data. Content Square is great for this as well. But your customer data platform is also very, very powerful, and you have to elevate it. You have to be able to use the information that's there. But yeah, I think, are we done? Okay, good. So the last question. Many companies have experiment analysis as part of product analyst role. How do you keep experiment analysis from becoming bored of only analyzing tests? It's a tough question. It's a tough question. How do you prevent somebody becoming bored of their job? Right? Like, it's difficult. It's a tough question, but it all goes down to the team structure and what you're trying to achieve. First of all, if everybody's aligned to your mission, you know what, and the customer problem, you're actually not just analyzing stuff, you're not creating a dashboard, you are solving customer problems. You're making somebody's life easier. And yeah, we don't save lives ourselves, unfortunately. But at the same time, if somebody saves 5 minutes of their daily churn to deal with their broadband, that's a win for us. So you have to go back to the core of your business and not just treat it as an admin task, but actually find a purpose behind it, because it is hard to find purpose behind it, but we're trying to solve customer problems. We're trying to enable broadband and sell the best that's out there for customer needs. So thank you very much for making it. I said, appreciate your effort and your time coming in here. So I hope you find it useful. Thank you very much.